getting it's the long goal. It's a long game. It's not the short game. Content marketing is about making friends with your market online.
Welcome to Marketing with Vino, the edutainment business growth podcast, mixing education and entertainment to make growing your service business much more fun. Your hosts, Quinton Venter, online marketing expert, and Gabby Kowalski, creator of the Business Freedom Formula, have a glass of wine and share powerful and up-to-date strategies to help grow your service business fast.
Hey guys, welcome to another amazing episode of Marketing with Vino. Joining us is the most amazing Gabs. Welcome, Gabs.
Hey, gorgeous Quinton. Hello, awesome listeners. We got some cool stuff to share with you today. Today, we're going to cover and give you how to attract lots more awesome clients using epic content marketing. So how you guys can get in the game, either up-level your current content marketing or get in the game if you've been wanting to, or find out what is this content marketing thing. If you're not,
this entire show is about.
So
for everyone tuning in, we have covered this topic in previous podcasts. We're going to extend on it, and more so, we're going to tell a story here. We're going to tell the story of actually what has taken place in the transition of not producing content to producing content, and now getting the engagement, and what was the transition of getting over the fear of getting stuff out there, but now more so getting epic stuff out there, and how that translates into creating getting awesome clients. Because at the end of the day, the better content you put out there, the more value that you provide in your marketplace. If they engage and consume it and find it valuable, that they can actually apply to their current situation and get immediate results, that there is a win-win formula that gets you as the trusted advisor, and people love that. We'll go into a little bit of depth of where Gabby can maybe share some of the responses that she's been getting from the content that she's been creating and sharing into the world, because it is just for someone to take the time out of their day to actually send a response, whether it's positive or negative. They have invested something in their day to give to you. And that means something. That must be acknowledged. And Gabby's been getting shitloads of amazing feedback from people loving the podcast, and a couple that point out that I'm drinking because of Gabby talking. But what do we do regarding the love that we get and the haters? And how do we do more of it so that we keep getting better results?
Yeah, it is. It's super, super funny. Look, to be honest with you, if I ever get hate comments, I usually just delete them and get on with my world. I know Kelly sends them love. To be honest with you, I just delete them and get on with my world.
Yeah.
I used to think sending haters love was enlightened. And then I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to give you this nothing. I'm going to give this no energy because I don't want to call more of it into my world. And anywho, what was really funny, and I had to take a screenshot and show Quinton, was this guy writes, I want to find it now. This guy literally comments with he wins the negative comment award of the year. If I could give
Shout
the guy
out to Paul.
Is that what his name was, Paul? If I could give Paul a trophy, I would. And you're patiently, so he writes, it is Paul, you're right. He writes, who is this Paul? So what we've done is we've taken snippets of Marketing with Vino, 6 minutes, 3 minutes, and I've been sharing them off my business page just to repurpose the content and spread the love, right? And Paul writes, who is this poor man being forced to placate you as he clearly turns to drink as a coping mechanism?
He doesn't get the show, but more importantly, he actually watched the show. That's brilliant. He watched a snippet.
He must, to draw that conclusion, he had to have consumed something. At least a shot of you drinking while I talked, right? So there's a few things I really wanted to share with you guys. And my intention here is for you to get that, we've said this so many times again and over again. And I really do believe that relationship marketing, content marketing, or what we call edutainment marketing, is not only the key to marketing in the future, it's the key to marketing right now, and it's already been active and people have been monetizing on it and making an impact with it for a very long time. If you don't get on, I really truly do believe if you don't get on this boat and, and build this up, I believe there's problems for future. I really do believe businesses are going to be in trouble because they're going to be outdone by the businesses that have everything. So much of our world is moving online. And yes, of course, you could be sitting there and saying to me, well, we're a local restaurant. How are we going to be, taken over by the online market? Yeah, fair enough. But there's opportunities you could be missing.
Oh, absolutely. A local restaurant. I don't know if you've seen that salt guy that flicks the salt on his steak or whatnot. You're not spending enough time on social media. So there's this chef in Israel, and what he's been doing is there's this famous memes going around about him where he's chopping up his steak, and the way that he sprinkles the salt, so he puts his arm and it just fairy dusts it on top. Yeah, so and that becomes his signature little move, right? Like some think he's a bit of a wanker, others think like he's a god from Earth, like he's whatever he is to whoever. But the fact is,
he's whatever you want him to
be. So all of a sudden, all of these videos start surfacing of him, and it appears to be that he's this overnight crazy success guy that all of a sudden it gets all this publicity and people are just loving his videos, are going viral. But he's been doing this for a few years, and he's been doing nothing more than just entertaining the way of how he cooks his meat in his restaurant. And some people might think like, holy crap, he's got so low OH&S standards. But the fact is, people are loving the way that it's done, that he's currently booked out. People can't get a spot into his restaurant because he's just been doing this consistently for year in, year out. So even if you are that local person, you're thinking, my product sucks. Like I'm selling health insurance. How can I make this exciting for someone? Or I'm selling funeral things. Like there is a way to make this a form of education and also some form of entertainment behind it for you to get some content out there, to create brand awareness and to create engagement for people to want to engage with your services.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, any business, right, if you want to look at creating true time freedom, creating passive income, creating of course, we take a business, we build it up, we staff it out, we systemize it, it runs itself, we have time and money. But let's look at, we have no idea what is possible online in the future. Like when you have a look at already, have a look at where things were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and the changes that have been happening. Like I remember saying to myself, I would never shop for clothes or shoes online, that I need to try it on. And guess what? I buy shit online now. And
that's converted.
And I do both, but the point is that I do, right? There's a transition that gets made that we have no idea what the future holds and what's available. And like I said, you could be a brick and mortar business and you could be sitting here going, well, what's the point of going too nuts with content marketing when I'm still limited to a certain locale? Well, one, target your locale, get them to, create a buzz around your restaurant, your insert whatever it is that you brick and mortar do. And that's what I love about Facebook ads, because you can target, a radius of say 20 kilometers around where you are, if that's what you believe your radius is, and pump out cool, entertaining stuff to them, and they're going to be intrigued to find out about you. Just the other day, this was literally, a month or two ago. I was in my beautiful shopping strip in Mordialloc, and I came across a shop that I'd never seen before, and it's like the frontage, really classy. Now, please get that this is like a strip of, it's a strip of shops, like they're all sort of bumper to bumper next to each other. Yeah. So little small businesses everywhere, and they kind of mush into place. Like unless you sort of know what you're looking for, everything's a bit of a mush because it's a shopping strip, right? So here's this shop. Its frontage is black. Its signage at the top is literally black with a bit of white, and it's got like the grocery store, black and white, in amongst a whole bunch of other shops that are blue and yellow and green. And guess what? It doesn't stand out at all. The eye does not see this driving on the main street. Unless you get out of your car and walk up the street, you're not going to see this place, right? Yeah. So I'm walking up the street just past this shop that sells cool stuff that I buy for my house. I'm like, when did this place go up? And it's super awesome. It's got like organic meats and organic, it's got cool stuff in it. I walk in and I live here. I literally locally shop here all the time. It's just on the opposite side of the street that I shop on. Yeah. I walk in And I'm like, wow, this place is incredible. I have a chat to the owner, and he tells me they've been there for like 7 months. And I'm a local. I shop there all the time and didn't even notice it. And he's like, oh, yeah, we've been here for a while. It's been a bit hard. Like, we've done a bit of social media stuff, but nothing's really working. And here's the thing, guys. Like, one, what's he doing? Like, he made a Facebook page. He may have even ran an ad, to the general public that was boring as batshit. Yeah. That no one, like, we're not sitting around waiting for a grocery store to open up in our like, locale, right? We need something to grab our attention. If you're wanting your local market to come check you out, it's not just a, hey, I'm here.
Buy my stuff, yeah.
Buy my stuff. And so for me, it was once I had the experience, I'm like, oh, this is a really cool place. And I walked out thinking, oh my God, it's been like 7 months and I just did not see this place because its branding is classy, but it doesn't stand out. He's not marketing the right way for being on it. Like, gosh, put a friggin' balloon on the top of your building. Do something, with your launch. Like, stand out somehow. And he's not content marketing. Does this? I trust this is resonating because the other thing I was wanting to say is, one, to drive traffic in, do something and grab their attention. You've got to get people's attention. Yeah. And then they'll come and see you. Two, you have no freaking idea what you want to do in 5-10 years time and what will be available, what you could, like, how you could potentially be selling some of your produce online. Or it could be that you sell videos on how to make some of the friggin' dishes that you guys like. It
recipes,
might be,
it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be showing how fresh your produce are, or it show the journey of the produce coming to your store. It could be anything.
Anything, right? But here's where, to me, it's just get it, guys. It's an online world and you want to jump on because, one, for the current goals you have to drive traffic to your current business, some of you already have goals to sell stuff online, and it's logical for you to build a platform to put content out to drive traffic to your website to sell all over the globe, right? For some of you, you don't even know what's possible. Like I said, 2 years from now, it might be really, really popular that, that restaurants have their own reality TV type thing on their websites. And it might be really popular that people literally pay to access the recipes all over the globe that you make your burgers with or you make your whatever with. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen in the future, right?
Yeah.
But I still think it's a jump on the train, keep your opportunities open, drive traffic to your business through content marketing now, and open up yourself to a possibility that you've built a platform, of people watching and listening that you could then monetize off. Have you seen those ads? And you would have had to have the meerkat ones.
The insurance comparing, yeah.
Yeah, compare the market, compare the meerkat. Well, it's funny, but like now they're selling little, meerkat teddy bears, and now they've got
merchandise and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they've merchandised the whole thing. And you never know. A couple of years from now, there could be like Gabby dolls and Quinton dolls, right? Putting it out there. But here's what I found was really interesting was, like, one, I think as business owners, there is the understanding that this is a form of marketing that needs to be done and it needs to be embraced. Two, it's actually understanding that it needs to be mastered. That, that if you're sitting here and you're stopped in any way, shape or form, it's probably because you don't know exactly how to do it, or you've tried something, you've made a couple of videos and they flopped and you got embarrassed because they weren't that good, or insert whatever. Just get that it's still an art form and it needs to be mastered. Like, it's not about, some people will tell you it's as easy as having an iPhone and shooting a video and putting it up on the internet. Yeah, if you're a great storyteller. Yeah, if you understand how to structure your content. Yeah, if you've mastered the art of it. Yeah, if you've actually evolved into a phenomenal edutainment marketer, right? So today I thought it'd be really cool to share a story. Quinton's going to share a story, and we're going to go deep on, our journeys in this, what we've learned, what's helped, what's made the biggest difference, some of the results that we're currently getting financially with our businesses because of it, to give you guys a bit of a fast track. Yet please note that I still really stand by the fact that you really should get yourself in with an expert and build your content marketing. Like, in August, Quinton and I are actually running a 3-day event on this exact topic. We're going to be building out building out all sorts of stuff around content marketing to sharing it all over social media and helping my first class members build all of that stuff up. And just so you know, even before they get there, there's a whole bunch of pre-work that they do so they can build.
Absolutely, yeah.
So just like, I guess, I don't know about you, but I've spent a lot of time and money and energy learning about this stuff, and so have you over the last amount of years. Like, what's the psychology? What's all of it? So,
but I think we've learned a lot more, even just this past year with Marketing with Vino, what it actually takes and how it's all come about. I mean, our very first show was completely different than what we do right now. Whether it's improved or it's gone backwards. We've got some amazing feedback that last episode was our best episode yet. Who knows? We'll just let the market decide.
And we think every episode is the best one ever.
Absolutely.
So if it's going by us, well, look, guys, we grow. And I'm sure if I was to listen to the first podcast, I'd find problems with it. But you know what? It's not about that. So here's what I wanted to share with you. There's a couple of key distinctions that have made me have the biggest transformation around this stuff recently. Like, literally, my social media platforms are exploding with followers comparatively, percentage-wise, to previous years.
So I just want to point out there, the followers that Gabby is talking about isn't just followers how those click farms where people just follow you for the sake of following you because you want to have this massive reputation of having 20,000 people following you for the sake of saying that you've got 20,000 people following you. The main purpose behind this is the following that Gabby has been creating is by people who actually engage with her brand, with who she is as a person, with her storytelling, with some of the content that she's put out there, that they actually want to like her page and get more from her. And some of them have even gone to the point of actually having a conversation with Gabby out of the blue through messages. And that's what's powerful here. We're creating a following of people who actually want to follow you. And Gabby, I would love for you to share that story of the transition of where you were with the content videos you used to create. I remember the ones of you standing on the beach and it was very scripted, and the ones that we're currently creating and what we're curating, and the difference between it and the flow of things with the current results.
And so, I also want to say something, guys, that I personally believe that to get to a level of flow and mastery in anything, it takes a bit of practice. And sometimes you do the basic stuff and you get comfortable with it, and then you take it to the next level. So I still, to this day, teach my clients to what I call freestyle in a framework, meaning that I still give them the framework for the content. Let me just close that off. In the woman in demand. What can I say? Apologies for the phone ring. So I still give my clients a framework and I tell them this is how to create your content. And so, in a way, it's kind of scripted at the beginning. Why? Because they need to build the muscle around how to communicate, how to, that way, once they know the key core components of content marketing, then they can go off and master it and add to it and evolve on it. So when I first started, I had a framework that I used. I'm going to share it with you right now. And the framework, quite frankly, was take some form of content that, that I can teach in like 3 minutes, ideally. I was really terrible at this because, oh my God, I could not stop talking. But take a bit of content, and it was literally looking at, so this is for you guys, it's looking at, what are some of the problems my market is facing, or some of the dreams that they have, and what's something I could share that will either solve a problem or move them closer to a dream. And so I'd create a whole bunch of stuff. So like, for argument's sake, it'd be like, oh, well, my market wants more clients. So then it'd be, how to attract more clients, using this simple 3-step process. Yeah. And so what I do is, what you do is you literally follow a framework where, guess what? Step 1 is introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Gabby. Step 2 is tell them what you're promising to talk about, right? So today I'm going to share with you a 3-step formula on how to tremendously blow out the amount of referrals you get. So now they're like, oh, cool. Everyone likes referrals, right? Yeah. Then what you do is you go, okay, you map out the content in maybe like 2 to 3 things you want to share with them, and you include what's called a seed. So a seed is seeding, planting the seed that you have a business. So if you're a restaurateur, right? Restaurateur. Or, you're a hair salon or whatever, right? You plant the seed that, if you're sharing some content, you'd actually mention, I was cutting, one of our clients came in to get her hair done for a wedding. Do you know what I mean? Like you plant the seed that you actually have this business. And then you have a call to action at the end. So something. And it could be as simple as inviting them to take some action to like it, comment, share it, or to take a bigger form of action. So that was the formula. It was introduce yourself, your topic, content, a seed of some sort, and a call to action. And so here I am at the beach, and I'm talking about referral programs, and I'm doing it by the book. And to be honest with you, the video is delight. Like, there's nothing, you can't, I wouldn't fault it necessarily. But
not at all. The content is not the issue here.
No.
It's how you were presenting and how it came out. So
yes. Yep. So this is where the missing part kind of taps into it. And it's okay, guys, if you're still not 100% in your voice. But this is where, if we are standing there, so here I was, I literally walked across the road to be at the beach to do this, right? So just picture this, right? It makes no freaking sense. Here's a woman on the beach standing there with a black shirt and a white and black pinstripe skirt on. I'm pretty sure I was wearing friggin' heels, they would have been wedges, but I'm not dressed for the beach. So here I am, I'm in business attire, standing with the beach in the background, and I'm like, hey, this is Gabby from, today I'm going to share with you, blah, and I'm talking. Now, ultimately, it's not, please, I am going to bag me out a little bit, but here's where I'd be inclined to tell you, well, what's going to work better for you? So think about what is a form of television show that's been super, 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 super popular for many years?
Drama?
Reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a second one I was going to say.
Yep. So, yeah, of course, we do like our scripted movies and whatnots, but when you have a look at it, when people are looking at content marketing, I truly believe going from the reality TV approach and injecting that into your content marketing is what people, they want that. They want to see the weird man salting his friggin',
Well, it just makes so much sense. If you look at some of the shows that are currently out there, what's that show, Gogglebox, where they actually watch people watching TV, commentating about how they're watching TV of the shows that we are watching as well.
Are you serious?
Yeah, funny. For real. It's so much going on. But reality TV, as you say, it's one of those forms that people just seem to be glued to the box watching it because of it's so entertaining. We want to watch what's going on in other people's lives more so than what's going on in our lives.
Yes. So now imagine taking that element. So as opposed to creating a friggin' studio in your garage. So I know people that literally have turned their garages into a studio that they film their video blogs and stuff in. And other stuff. Have you done that, Quinton? I don't think you've done that. No.
Space, no.
Now, so first step is just this isn't meant to be hard. I remember it took me all friggin' day to shoot 4 video blogs because there was costume changes walking across the street. Then you had to wait for the plane to go by. Then you had to wait for the kids that just threw the ball and had to come grab it.
You see that neighbor watching there. She's like, honey, she's out there again. She's wearing something else. Yeah.
We cut out for a second. My apologies, guys. So there's a neighbour going, is what I heard anyway. There's a neighbour going, honey, what was the one?
It was just that snoopy little woman watching, and she's like, oh, honey, she's out there again. She's wearing something else.
Yeah. So, and I remember at the beginning, and when we were doing it like this, my friend and I did this together, we literally were okay, cool. We mapped out our content. We devoted a couple of days. We'd go to the beach. We'd and then we drove to a friggin' lake, and then and then we're there, it's windy and we've got issues and this and that, and there's ducks and kids on their skateboards. And long story short, right, after this, I think it's a full day's effort, and you've made 5 videos and you're friggin' exhausted.
Yeah.
Then you got to sit there and type up, where the editing is for the video dudes to do it properly. And that's another hour venture. And I didn't enjoy it. First up, I didn't enjoy the process. 2, were my videos okay? Yeah, they were all right. as far as traditional video blogs go, okay, were they magnetizing? Were they memorable? Were they, like, does that make sense? Like, were they something that someone was going to go, oh, that's epic, I want to share that? I'm going to say no. I'm going to tell you why. So one thing that, that's been a big shift in me has been, I truly believe that, one, let's mix up some of this reality TV together with identifying what's your true message to the world. So Quinton and I, ever since we started this podcast, what's been interesting is that we've done it completely true to our message, true to our core. We had the intention to make a bigger impact, to share our knowledge, to help people all over the world, some of which could either not afford our services or weren't ready for it. We wanted to share help as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Because our intention, now just please get this too, our intention was so pure, it was give-based. The who we brought to the table was just two friends having a glass of wine and having a chat. The environment is reality TV. Like, this is reality TV. Yeah. There's no rehearsal. There's no cuts.
There's no script or anything. It is just it's two people hanging out and having awesome conversations.
And for our followers, I'm sure you've probably noticed there's podcasts where we talk about something and then we halfway through start talking about something else, and it's real. It's like a real conversation that you have with your mates, especially after a few glasses of wine. We often go off tangent, right? And so to me, the magic sauce is, one, be real. Often business owners will say to me, there's this thing of how can I stand out in the market? How can I be unique? What's my unique thing? What's my unique selling proposition? And it's this, how do I stand out in a crowded market? And it's valid, right? Because you actually need to. Or would you agree that you need to, Quinton?
Oh, absolutely. You got to have some point of difference.
Yeah. And guess what? Every single one of us does. Because there is no other human on the planet exactly like you. No one. No one has everything you do. And it's about really releasing you into the marketplace. You're the unique thing in your business.
Yeah.
Your sense of humor or lack of, all of you. It's when you're vulnerable enough to let people in the way that reality TV is supposed to work. That's where you are the point of difference. That's where people are either going to think you're awesome or not, but you're being real. You're letting people in. Then it's sharing your information, finding a way to have it be entertaining, and there's your thing. Like that is you being unique. There is no other Gabby out there. There isn't. There's no other Quinton out there doing, even if someone was to create another podcast and call it Marketing with Vino and try and do what we do, they'll never be Quinton and Gabby.
No, unless they do their own thing. They got to do their own thing.
And the truth of the matter is, even if they tried to be like me and Quinton, they could never be truly like me and Quinton, because there's only one of us. They'd be, and if they were trying, this is what's really key. If you try to be something that you're not in your marketing won't connect. Yeah. So this is the difference between the videos. So the videos that I made, honestly, you can't you can't really fault them, but did they connect? No, because who I was being in them wasn't 100% authentic me. There was structure to it. There was, here I am, I'm standing on the beach, I'm like a newscaster. You know how newscasters are newscasters. We expect them to be newscasters.
Yeah.
But we don't, we hope that that's not how they are in their real world. Hello, mum and dad,
Good morning.
That's right. We know that that's the role. You don't want to be a newscaster in your content marketing, because guess what? News is kind of boring. People see it as news is news. Yeah. It's meant to have a detached,
nothing entertaining. It's nothing that gets you going or gets you moving in a sense of, I want to do something about this, in the sense of I want to share it, I want to buy it or whatnot.
And a newscaster, I believe, needs to be kind of politically correct and neutral, because otherwise there could be a massive shit fight into Channel 7 perceiving to back something or not back something, or
otherwise their viewers don't watch the news anymore. So they've got to be very neutral.
They have to. So to let the viewer have their own opinion. It doesn't it lets everyone have their own thing. Anywho, so the journey, right, is there is only one of you. Be be you, like freaking be you, and be all of you, so like be all of you, be like, if you're having a vulnerable moment, it's okay. Like if you're having a shit day, like, like if it's, to me, it's not about bitching and complaining and using your platform as a soundboard for your own personal BS, but it's like, it is sharing some stuff, sharing some vulnerable stuff. You're welcome to do that. It's not always looking like a wanky, super awesome person. It is sometimes just being vulnerable, being silly, being funny, being human, and letting other people feel like it's okay to be human. I really do believe the greatest gift we can give to other humans is the gift of letting them feel safe to be fully self-expressed.
Yeah.
That there's just something about the feeling of, I can be me and you're not judging me, and wow, right? That in your marketing, if there's a way you can stand in your own uniqueness, you can be you. You actually give permission to all your people to feel comfortable. Like, just understand that why wouldn't they want to come and do business with you when they feel that comfortable?
Yeah.
They want to go somewhere they feel cared for, they can be fully self-expressed in. They kind of come to your business and they feel like they're at home.
Yeah. But
that's because you brought you to it. You welcomed them, and your content marketing wasn't just you trying to look good. It was about you sharing a message. It was about you connecting. It was actually your intention with it was to build a relationship. Hey, come in, try some of my sausage. Do you like it? Oh, okay. Look, here it is. And like the way that.
And to add to that as well, it's not something that's been forced. It's a building up a relationship. It's not gonna just take place after the very first thing that you share out. This is something that you got to be consistent in as you're sharing more of you in the reality sense. That's what's building up the relationship, and that's building up the quality relationship of it.
Yes, exactly. And so this is also it's the long goal. It's a long game. It's not the short game. Content marketing is about making friends with your market online. Yes, it's going to take them a little bit of time to get used to you. There's going to be consistency. If you don't consistently put out content, it's not going to work, because they need to have a consistent amount of your message for them to trust you. Like Quinton was saying, I'm getting some pretty cool private messages right now, and I'm literally getting people message me, say things like, "Oh my God, you're amazing. I can't believe I just found you. You're like everything I've been looking for. Oh wow, like thank you for what you do in the world, and I've just read through all your stuff, and you're literally exactly what I'm looking for," and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Obviously every industry is a little bit different, but to me that's a beautiful thing to get those types of messages, right? But that's because I've been me. That's because, and ironically, I've also gotten more hate. I've gotten lots of love, but I've also gotten a fair bit of hate, in amongst all of this. I have had people call me naughty words and, accuse Quinton of becoming an alcoholic.
But that comes with the territory. I mean, it's showing that you're not being neutral, you're being polar. And people like that. People like people who are a bit polar, so that they're either with you or they're against you. And that is how you're starting to separate yourself from that masses. Because if you look at the perceived masses as one big ball of everyone is just there, all of a sudden there's that one person standing out and people are like, oh yeah, she's right, or no, she's wrong. And then that person all of a sudden gets separated. And that's what you want. You want to be separated from that overall masses of just the noise of your industry, your competition, the marketplace, the noise that's in there, and that's how you stand out.
Yes, and guys, really hear this. So the way to stand out is to be polarizing, which means that, you do stand for something, that there is going to be definite people that are like, yeah, I agree with you, and people that are like, you're an idiot. Yeah. And it's impossible to please everyone. Impossible, because everyone's different. Yeah. Like, everything has its polar opposite existing at the same time. So, there's hippies, there's people that are spiritual, and then there's people that are so like anti any of that stuff. They think it's all gobbledygook, right? So, but it's true. Yeah. Everything has its contrast. There's people out there that are religious, highly religious, and once again, if you go in with like content around the universe and how to create and manifest, you'll get comments every now and then by someone saying, God, God's the one that manifests. You don't have the right to manifest. I
remember that comment.
And that's okay. Like, to me, that's cool. That if I'm getting people, going, how dare you tell people they've got power to manifest, that's God's power. And I'm mocking a little bit, so apologies I'm not like meaning to, but that's how I read the message.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard him talk like that in my head. So why it's important to actually, here's the shift for me anyway. My shift was understanding that for me to really stand out in the marketplace, for me to get my message heard, for me to build a platform, my intention was to polarize. I had to consciously get that I wanted to polarize with my content. That meant I needed to take a strong stance in my beliefs and, really back myself. So and the moment where I really went, you know what? I do believe mindset is friggin' pretty much all of it. Like, yes, of course, there's strategy. And yes, I've learned a lot and I've spent a shitload of money learning about strategy. And I'm not in any way, shape or form saying that strategy is not important, because it is, right? But mindset's huge. Like, the moment I really got, what makes me me? What do I do all the time, no matter what, is I talk about mindset until, like, honestly, Quinton, can we shut me up ever?
No, Gabby can talk on the water.
And the more I stepped into that, the more I went, well, what's my true message? Like, instead of trying to create content that I think they want to hear, what's my truth? Like, what do I talk about? What excites me? Who do I bring to the table all the time anyway? Let's own that message. Let's own that identity. Let's own that, because, that's my truth. That's my, like, that is, if you were to follow me around with a camera, reality TV wise, you would hear more mindset stuff coming out of my mouth than you would strategy.
Yeah.
And even if you heard me talking to clients, the first place I always go to is, where are you at here? Okay, great. Now, this is what I want you to do to get on media, to get on this, to get blah, 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 blah. Like, I go into strategy after I fix their head, right?
Yeah.
So for you, I want you to think, right, what's your truth around your business? Like, if you were to talk about your business, what are your true opinions around your business? What's your true why? What is it that you love talking about? What is it that you love about your industry? What information do you actually really respect and love? That's what you want to create content on.
What do you stand for and what do you stand against?
Yeah. Yep. What is your, exactly. What's the stuff you find yourself talking about behind the scenes, and how could you share that with your marketplace? Yeah. To me, it's that. So as soon as I really started to tap into this part of myself and really understanding that, my God, like, my thing is mindset. Like, yes, it's both strategy and mindset, but it's mainly mindset. And then as soon as I really embraced that, that's my true voice, that if I was to be authentically truthful to myself, as opposed to try and be this super wanker who creates content for it looking good, like my beautiful beach vlogs. It had me dive deep into looking at my message. It had me dive deep into looking at, what is the underlying message that all of my content needs to have for it to be true, and for it to polarize, and for it to create a true following of either haters or lovers, right? Yeah. And so for me, I delved deep. I went to a 3-day mastermind with my current mentor in Bali and literally dove deep on this topic and looking at, well, it didn't take me 3 days, like, it was done in the first, but anyway, the point is, and so for me, and I hope that this helps some of you guys, because for me, it was actually going, okay, this is how I articulated it. I was literally talking to one of my clients this morning, and I told her to do the same thing. It was really cool, and she thought it was cool, so I might as well share it with you, because if she thought it was cool, you probably will too.
Please do.
So imagine for a second, right, that you're on stage, and if for anyone who's afraid of talking on stage, let's just pretend it's like you're on a Skype call or a radio show, or you're being recorded, right? Just for a second, imagine that you've got the ears of, say, 1 billion people on the planet, that you get the opportunity to make an impact, but you've only got a very small amount of time, and you can only share one message. It's your mother message. It's this is your moment in life and history for you to impact the planet. What is your true message to the world? What is it that how do you, like, what's the mark you want to leave on this planet? If you only had that one moment, what would it be? And for me, it was this. It was, you can be, do, have everything. You can be, do, and have it all in business, in love, in health, in sex, in experience, in purpose, in any of it. I truly believe that the way we create is we be the being. We take inspired do action, and we have.
Yeah.
So if I had 1 billion people listening to me, my message that I'd share is be, do, have. Don't do, have, be. Be the being, be the vibe. Then take vibe-inspired action and have everything you want. Stop trying to use your willpower. Stop, working hard. Again, it's not meant to be hard.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful for me because in that moment it was, that's my message. Be, do, have. It's be the being. And so all my content has that underlying through it. That's my soul. Like that's, that's, I know myself enough to know that that's my reality TV. That's my brand. So guys, as you listen to this, I'd really love to ask you, what's yours? If you had the attention of 1 billion people, but you only had this amount that you could bestow upon them, what would you share? What would it be? What do you think what would make you go, yeah, all right, I used that opportunity well. All right, I did it. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah?
Like as you're saying that, I'm thinking about my own one. If I had 1 billion people that had a small window to talk to, and this is just on the spot right now, it's in line with what I'm about in the sense of get shit done. But I was just thinking, if I had that at one moment, the thing that I would say is we're all in this together. And in order for us to step up, we need to work together as a team. And as a team, we need to be able to get shit done. We need people who can lead us, and we need people who can get shit done. That is how we will move forward. And that's essentially where I'm coming from. It's for people to step up their game, whether it is through marketing, whether that is through leadership, through relationships, through their health, but it's a sense of stepping up their game and to respect others and to not do it alone, to not do it the hard way, to be able to get help and play together as a team. And that's the kind of thing where, like we were talking about it before regarding this podcast, it's that team effort. And I love playing in teams. I've done the solo act for a very long time, and I love the team playing a lot more, because not only can we celebrate together, it's more fun when you're at the top playing together, but it's for me, it's a sense of accountability. Not that I don't keep myself accountable. I love being held accountable, but also I'm keeping myself accountable to the other person to keep me accountable. That if I say I'm doing something, I want to follow through on it, and therefore I keep showing up. So it's a sense of we're all in this together, and we are a team, and in order to move forward, to step up our game, to get shit done, we got to work together.
I love that though, but see, here's the funny part. What I'm hearing for you, can I share?
Absolutely.
What message?
Yeah, let's do this.
So what I'm hearing for you is your actual message to the world isn't even get shit done. Your message to the world is the quality of your team determines the results and quality of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's you know what I mean?
Key message there about how you keep showing up. It is how you show up to the world. It's how you show up at work, how you show up in your health, how you show up in your relationships. It is together we get a lot more done.
Yeah, it is. It is. I love that. So it's even like it's tweaking it. Together we get shit done. I love that.
That's awesome.
Quinton's about to together, Quinton Agency and you get so much more done. I love it. And it is, and this is true. So this is where so when we look at you, for example, and this is your core truth. So that means that anything around, any conversations around how to build epic relationships, how to network effectively, how to really truly build a team, who to be in the team, anything around teams, anything about any content that's about picking the right team for the right genius, and anything you share in your marketplace that's going to be around that theme, hooking people up with the right people, is going to be true to your soul.
Absolutely.
And ironically, it's what you do. Like literally just before this call, guys, Quinton and I were talking, and we're talking about hooking people up with the right person to get shit done. Yeah. And we're talking about what they call the angels, the
regarding outsourcing?
Yeah.
Outsourcing angels, yeah.
There we go. I knew there was an angel there. But see how that's natural for you. It's cool, guys. So ask yourself. I personally this morning when this question popped out of my mouth, I thought it was really cool because it led into the opportunity for you to see what's true for you. And some of you, no offense, you may even go, oh shit, I may be in the wrong industry or the wrong business.
Yeah.
The journey for us is the journey. So that's okay too. Like if you sort of go, oh, I really want to be talking about like what my truth, and you can mix shit up too. So I want to express this. One of my clients has a phenomenal beauty salon, and her massive truth is about personal development. That even though she treats the outside of you, she's huge on the inside journey. She's huge on developing your soul and having your soul be the most beautiful thing and letting your soul shine through. Yeah. So it transcends your beauty. So you could turn around and go, oh, that's more sort of like, she should be a coach, not a beautician. Bullshit. She's started to put this into her content. She started making videos on Instagram, and you should see the interaction. Like the interaction's been huge. She's been doing this for the last couple of weeks, and it's freaking awesome. Because she's now injecting her message into the beauty. So it's like, and the right people are going to be attracted to that. Absolutely. The ones that are, so like this is where, have a look at how you can take your message, and if your message and your industry was to have a baby, what would come out, right?
It'll be unique, that's for sure.
It will. And so in a nutshell, guys, the tips for you are that, it's be you. Don't be anybody else. Don't go to the beach in a suit and try and, be a wanky newscaster. Just be yourself, be authentic. Yeah. And find a platform that works for you. So I really do love the podcast platform because I love having a conversation. And if anyone is listening and anyone here loves having an epic conversation, can I recommend that you find a friend inside your industry, like that complements your industry, because you don't really want to, compete too much. And the conversations can be pretty one-sided, but someone that complements you. So Quinton and I complement each other. Would you agree?
Yeah. Boom.
Quinton's like the get shit done Facebook ads, genius, and I don't like doing techie stuff, and I like I'm the mindset strategy, get somebody else to get it done for you person.
Perfect match made in heaven.
It couldn't be better, right? So I really do encourage you to give this a go. Give it a go. Just find someone that compliments you. Get on Skype and use even the frame I said to you, where all you do is introduce yourself. Hi, I'm June. I'm Sally. And today we're going to talk about blah. Then have a conversation about blah. And then invite them to either, subscribe or to like it or share it or whatever.
Yeah.
Give it a crack and see if it feels fun. And if it does feel fun, then get a virtual assistant to load it into iTunes for you and do all the techie shit around it.
I think one of the key things for anyone to actually really consider is the amount of time it takes you as a business owner to go and learn a new skill, to have to go and implement it and execute on it, versus being able to go and get a VA that has done it before at a much cheaper rate. Yes, it's costing you money, but compare that with how much time you're saving and what you could be doing at your time best spent in order to get the job done. If you weigh that up and if you do the maths around that, it outweighs it by tenfold. The fact that you can get someone else at a very low cost to do the little things that they already know to do versus you having to learn and make the mistakes.
Yep, it's insane. Unless your soul is called to it, unless there's a part of your soul that just desperately wants to learn how to, do the back end of podcasts, then hats off to you, go for it, buddy. You follow that soul, you follow your passion right to the end of time, right?
If that is the one message you want to share with the 1 billion people, then do it.
Go. And it's funny because so often, especially in the earlier stages of business, I'll see people, sacrifice time for a little bit of money, they will literally spend 4, 6, 8 hours, doing something that no shit a virtual assistant probably would have cost them maybe $50 to do.
Yeah.
Now, please get this, guys, that that's you, that's you kind of, working at $8 an hour. $8 an hour. Like, if you're in Australia,
wow.
Please, for the love of God, go get yourself a part-time job somewhere. If cash flow's really, go do something.
That is a perfect point. Go get a part-time job that will pay you more than $8 an hour so that you can pay someone else $8 an hour. And you would have wasted the same amount of time and you'd be extra in your pocket.
Yeah.
Win-win. Good point.
That's right. And you're not sitting there doing something that drains you, and it's so hard. And often the reason why a lot of business owners fail to execute certain marketing projects is purely because they're trying to do it themselves. They're like literally trying to be a fish climbing a tree. Imagine the execution of the project is a tree and you're a fish, and you swim to the tree, and then you're like, I'm going to climb it, as opposed to hiring someone else to climb the damn tree and plant the thing in the that's what people do.
I love that. Yeah.
So please stop being a fish climbing a tree. It's not a nice thing to do to yourself. And find a way. Ask yourself how. If you go, I can't afford that yet, then as opposed to saying to yourself, I can't afford it, start asking yourself, okay, if I could afford it, how would that be? If I could do this, how would that look?
Become resourceful.
Yep. And let us know. Guys, if you haven't already, go to marketingwithvino.com. In that page, it's our website for all the podcasts. There's a little button that says join the club, and you can literally join our private Facebook group free of charge. This group is designed for you guys to ask us questions. You get access to the podcast really, really quickly. And it's just literally, if you've got a question, get in there, tell us. You tell us about your podcast, share it. Actually share your podcast.
Oh, that would be amazing. What if people start sharing their platform inside?
Share your content marketing inside, and we're going to not only support you, but we're also going to be lovingly able to give you some feedback, some pointers. So how's that?
That is
High
awesome.
five.
High five. Boom.
Woo!
Go to marketingwithvino.com. Join us. One of the amazing legends will allow you access, and we can continue this conversation. Thank you so much for your wisdom, Gabs. This has been amazing. 50 minutes in, bam. This is an awesome episode. We've gone a little bit over, but the fact is we have shared valuable points here, and we would love to hear from you what you've taken from this and where you're going with it. Thank you so much, Gabs. Lots of love to you.
Thank you, Quinton. Love you. Mwah. Love you. And love you, all our watchers and listeners. Mwah.
Ciao.
You've been listening to Marketing with Vino. If you enjoyed this episode and want to access the resources discussed in this episode, go to marketingwithvino.com and select which episode you've listened to.